Yeah, good morning all. It's 4:30 here in the morning in Cambodia, and I slept fairly well, which is a good thing. I'll probably be out for an hour or so and then drift off back to sleep for a couple more hours, but I'm wide awake at the moment, and so I thought I'd do a post. Um, you know, um, I don't know really what to talk about. Um, But I feel as though I've got a good handle on my psychosis, and it's still in the process of becoming concrete. But I feel I am familiar with the liabilities of my cognitive processes in the sense that um, uh, as a child, I experienced um, trauma at critical stages of my mental and emotional um, makeup, and that left me stuck, I guess, in thought processes that I never learned to uh, identify and acknowledge as being delusional in nature. And it also left me with the impression that I had to exceed or supersede feelings that were at the positive end of the spectrum in an extreme sense due to the fact that they'd been rejected and shunned. So in my imagination, I thought I was capable of doing that in the sense that, I experienced a divinity that was magnificent in nature. And, even that state of mind left me feeling as though, I was vulnerable to a certain degree. Um, yeah, and that's what led me to believe that, I was schizoaffective, because it felt exceptional and extraordinary. And, my thought processes in those states of minds was, rather manic, but I feel like I'm settled now. And I think that's due to my medication and therapy. Um, I'm familiar with the depersonalization disorder. Um, and I feel as though, um, I've gotten a handle on this de-affectualization, which basically means, just lack of emotion, lack of mood. I once had an epiphany that, I circulated in this detached neutralism in whenever I engaged other individuals or I was in social settings. And that pretty much still can be the case today. There's nothing bad about that. It just means that I haven't or I'm not willing to form emotional bonds with other individuals. It doesn't make me a psychopath or a sociopath. It just makes me uh, feel a little inept and inadequate when it comes to engaging others on a mental and emotional level. So I'm learning to embrace that, as opposed to thinking in my, with my ego that I am capable of exceptional and extraordinary things. In my imagination, I can encounter uh, love, health, well-being, uh, and things along those lines. What most natural people um, experience, in intimate relationships. But the reality of it is that I've never really experienced that to any great degree. So it's uh, quite plausible, that I should feel a little anxious and neurotic when it comes to trying to develop or forge those kinds of relationships. It's just the solipsistic nature of my imagination where I encounter these situations and they seem so lifelike that, I come away from those episodes, thinking that I have some sort of experience in those matters. And it's just delusional. Um, it's just my uh, false self, my ego, not wanting to appear as though it's vulnerable in any way, shape, or form. So there's a lot to fathom, but I'm making headway into it, and yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do when I return home to Australia, or even whether I'll go to Phnom Penh in another week or another 4 days, 4 or 5 days, when my pay cycle comes about. To give him a couple of weeks counselling, before I head back to Australia. Um, it'd be good, but I feel as though, um, aside from building up, more uh, professional um, uh, language in respect to how I deal with certain situations, it's not going to be that therapeutic at all. Um, there's a few terms that I don't feel entirely comfortable with. One of those is projective identification. Um, I know as a small child, my mother projected a lot of her shit onto me, and um, and hence that detached neutralism, where I got blamed for her shortcomings, and the truth of the matter was that I was too young, to comprehend, what the game was, so to speak. But I have more of an idea today. Um, so I'm starting to go off on tangents. I feel like I've made an effort to allow people to get to know me. So I guess the ball's in the other court, as to whether people want to get to know me or not. So life's good. Um, I can cope with a little bit of solitude and isolation, and it's all fair weather. No, I'm just trying to concoct things to say now because I'm feeling though as though I'm at the end of my tether. Um, yeah, hope you're all having a great day. no matter where you are on the planet. And here's to perseverance. Thank you. Bye.